We muted or the computer.
But I'll make faces at the camera.
Got it.
So now we take this one. And I believe it's this dot.
Flip it back.
See, I tried it last week. And Don Binkley got up and flipped it right away and hit the same button I'm hitting. There, I did it.
Good job.
Yeah. Okay, next, this is my last time doing this. I just want you to
I
know.
thought you were doing it through, you're not with it.
No, you're gonna do it. I can't do everything.
Yeah, you.
All you have to do is just come over to one day, get the technician and they'll show you. That's.
Well, he got us a great cheat sheet. We just have to get her an account set up. Okay,
Seems kind of hard when I'm going, it's like, always just giving her a hard time.
but you know what? I love it. Okay, here's your packets.
Is that everything you emailed us?
No, it's more.
Like,
I'll always give you another agenda.
in case there are any updates.
Well, just because typically they don't put their agendas. I was gonna try to mute this, but I can't remember how to mute.
I can say, what color is that wall on that screen?
Don't It's ask pretty me, I'm green. colorblind.
Green. What color is that wall?
Beige.
They're gonna think you guys are a little greener on the grid. Girls in here.
Hey, what was it that we were supposed to open the bids for the harvest?
Next
Tree
month.
harvest, next month? I was out there today, it was pretty
Had the, like, the,
forest.
oh,
I was out there today.
yeah.
My son and I went out to, because he hadn't been there.
Dave singing.
Chilling.
Jennifer told us to look back, so we just got.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. You pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. Welcome, everyone. Okay. First matter is I'd like to introduce our new park board member, David Sin, and welcome him to the board.
Thank you.
Did everybody look at the prior minutes from the August meeting online?
Yes, I do.
Any discussion about those minutes? Is there a motion to accept those?
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes from last meeting.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, lift station update.
Okay. Finally today, the Homa pumps have gone back in. Long story short, they came out last week, put the pumps in, and one of the claws broke. They didn't have the right capacitors. So where it stands as of today, we have 1 year left on the warranty. Because they repaired them, it voided our original 3-year warranty. So we have 1 year from today. Where we go forward with this is ultimately going to be up to you guys, because we had talked about filing a suit. There's a $10,000 deductible on our insurance. It would save us 10, but I don't know if it would increase our rates to our insurance. I don't know how you feel about pursuing that avenue versus what was mentioned prior to filing a lawsuit.
So the 1 year warranty starts when?
Today, today was when they put them in.
And we still have.
We have the 2 Liberty pumps
Two we
on the
bought.
shelf, yeah.
So do we maybe ask Justin if he thinks it's worth us moving forward, and if not, just,
Go ahead and file the insurance.
well, no, I mean, talk to Justin and see if he thinks it's likely that we'd be successful, you know what I mean?
Right, and then if not.
And if not, then, you know,
Okay,
at least that's my view.
Yeah, I would think that's a good idea. Is there a motion to talk to Justin? Get him involved in it?
Sure, I would make a motion that we contact park board attorney Justin Schramm, right?
well,
And ask him if he thinks it's worth pursuing and get his advice before moving forward.
okay.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Angelina, he knows all what's going on and everything.
I've tried to reach out to him 3 times on this issue and he's not gotten back with me.
Okay,
I was hoping to have more options to bring to today's meeting, but it didn't happen.
okay. All right, so go ahead and try to get a hold of him. And if you need me to try and get a hold of him, I will. Okay. Okay. Discussion on requiring shore station at piers beginning in 2025.
All right. I'm gonna get through these 2 reports and then Amy's gonna take the rest, but
Okay.
this is something that we've been working diligently on.
Okay,
Gary has helped me tremendously. When we look at what we have right now, less than 20% of our pier holders do not have a shore station. Okay, so it's not like we're displacing a bunch of customers.
so 80% have shore
Yes.
station. Okay,
So what we're doing is we're attempting to protect our piers, protect other boaters' boats, because when these boats break loose, they end up hitting other people's boats. Granted, it's their insurance, but it's our responsibility to oversee it, because oftentimes those customers live in Chicago. We have a storm, we call them, their boats are broke loose, whether it's beached or it's damaging. Somebody has to go out there to assess what's going on and then contact those customers. If they're on shore stations, I'm not gonna say it can't happen, but it's a rarity. And when you look at the majority of the other places that have pier slips, almost all of them require shore stations. It's not a negative thing. And I think, Gary, you can jump in anytime, but we also want to look at reducing the amount of work we need to do in oversight of those piers after storms, because it is intense when we have bad weather, and we've been having plenty of it. When we did some research on available shore stations, there are so many of them out there available on Marketplace. They're ranging from 900 to 3,900 on Marketplace. You drive around the lake, there's lift stations for sale everywhere. You can get new cantilever lifts from Larry's Marina, and they're gonna run you about, what is it?
Ballpark figure was between 5,000 and 6,000.
And then I looked up online on Cantilever's website, and they start at $15.95 for cantilevers and go up to $10,000. So I'm just saying, if you have a boat, in my opinion, and I don't, you would want to take care of that boat and protect that boat as well as the other boats around them. So we're asking you to approve lift requirements for 2025 season. Gary, do you want to add anything?
Well, it's just that, we're the only one on the lakes around that doesn't mandate boat lifts right now. Every public pier on Bass Lake in the last 3 years has mandated boat lifts. Harbor House mandated boat lifts. I know they're no longer there. Portside mandates boat lifts. And, we're looking to mandate them. And I know the price goes up for people and some people don't want to buy them. But even if you invest in a shore station with our pier prices, it's still a ton of savings over Portside's yearly rates. So that's my opinion on it.
Yeah.
And people don't seem to want to take the time to secure their boats the proper way. So, and even Larry's Marina said it would be so much easier on them if we had shore stations.
Yeah, and I don't disagree, because I mean, last year I was in favor of it and got voted out of it, so.
And this year was worse.
But to tell you the truth, the only reason why I'm backing off of it now is because I consider having to require people to get a boat lift to be kind of like a fee increase. And with my experience at this last budget hearing from the county council, when they refused to allow us to budget all the money, all the receipts that we take in every year, they cut us back $24,000. I can't, in good conscience, support any kind of a fee increase going forward.
Well, I understand that, but to try and get back at them by,
Well, I'm not getting back at anyone. I'm just saying, if the county council will not allow this board to project the fees that we're gonna take in, and obviously if we don't take them in, we can't spend it, but they won't allow us to budget for 2025, all the revenue that we anticipated taking in. They cut us back by $24,000. I'm not exactly sure why, but
now,
I got beat up pretty bad at that budget.
let me ask you this. This happens a lot. Are they cutting everybody's budget? Or are they just cutting the park district budget?
Well, I sure
They
you.
could be cutting, their county yard budget.
Well, there was another thing that was brought up during that budget hearing as well, because Kathy, Norm had brought up a couple of meetings back to ask to see if they would consider also allowing us to have an account that can carry over from one year to the next, so that we could do some longer term planning. They said no to that too, at least for 2025. So I think we need to work better with the council and find out why they're doing this, but,
So how do we do that?
well, I guess.
I don't have the slightest idea, I'm asking.
Well, and I'm not sure either, because they didn't really give a good reason why, other than budgets don't normally go up that much in a year. But they kind of consider us like every other department, which I think we're different, at least in my view.
I look at every month, the carryover, we have 59,000 in our carryover fund. I think the question should be, how can we be allowed to utilize that 59,000 versus saying that it's there, we just need to figure out how do we use it.
It's great having this big fund up there, but nobody knows how to unlock the door to get to it.
Well, and to me, that's part of the problem. That was one of the reasons why we asked to have that special account, so they can carry over from one year to the next. And they didn't want, and this is the entire council. I mean, they were unanimous in saying no to the park board to be able to budget all the money we take in. And you gotta remember, these are all fees. It's, none of it is, at least in the operating budget, tax money. It's all fees generated from campers, pier slips, and the gate. That's all the revenue we budget each year. Now, could we run into an issue at the end of the year and need to have the council approve some tax money for us to be able to use? Of course, that can happen. And they have in the past.
Well, my thing is, here's the other thing I got. I know you don't want a fee increase. But you know, we banged the people camping hard 2 years ago and all you guys agreed to it to do
Last
it
year.
last year.
Right.
And
Well, and that's what I'm saying, and part of the reason why we increased our budget for 2025 was because of those additional revenues coming in. And the county council said, no, we can't use all that, or you can't budget all that.
but you still hit them with a big raise.
Well, I did, sure, didn't anticipate, at least I didn't anticipate the county council
Well,
saying
that
that.
anticipates government.
Well, I didn't anticipate. A couple of years ago, when they cut out the 30,000 they give us every year, that was one thing, you know, operating in your own funds. But now, we're not getting that 30,000 anymore either, but now that we're increasing fees and bringing in more revenue. For some reason, they won't allow us to budget all that money that we take in.
Yeah, well, I don't think we're getting anywhere with that.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. Is requiring everyone to get a shore station going to save us money?
It's going to save us money in the long run in labor to maintain and oversee the piers. And it's gonna keep our costs down on our piers. Hopefully, then we don't have to spend the money we do now to maintain them. And we can look at maybe getting those aluminum piers on the walkway on the south end.
I don't have any problem with the charging, with everybody having a shore station. I think they should.
Well, and another thing that I think is very critical to mention is that if you are on a shore station, your boat is secure. We're not gonna be running out there at every storm, at every big
Yeah.
windstorm. Living every day at the beach.
Yeah, but
I know, but-
last year we did put into place new procedures requiring this board to say if there was damage, to send an email or send some kind of written notice to both the cost of damage to require them to repair that at their own expense, or we would repair it and then charge them for it. So that's in place. That's already there. So it's not costing us any additional money, I don't think.
It's an inconvenience.
I'm one of the 20% that doesn't have a shore station. How many shore stations we talking about 20%?
Well,
Around 80% of the shore stations.
there's 98 boat slips,
So.
And we also have the shore stations
About 20.
with the jet skis too.
about 20.
Okay, so I've been there since they put the first board in on the first pier. And I've always augured my boats in them. I've got a fixed pension, I'm retired. To buy a lift, now I'm gonna tell you right now, to put that lift in and out and store it. Portside Marina is charging $500.
Well, that's my next question. Where do these shore stations go in the?
All depends. I take mine out and take mine home.
We also provide
Something.
shore station storage on our property through the season for $200 a shore station, $100 for a jet ski shore station, so it's additional revenue.
For the season.
And I guess the only point I want to make is if people are on fixed incomes and they can't afford to have a boat, it's no different than not being able to afford to have a campsite. We have to.
And you're trying to make loose this year.
Yeah, yours will lose a couple times this year. Water problems all year.
Other problems all year.
And I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Well, we should-
continuous.
Yeah, no, not continuously, and looking into that about how you want $50 an hour to fix them and the ones you didn't fix them at. We'll get into that problem too, and the $50 that I have to pay you to do it when you're getting half of your short.
You don't pay me.
And half of your other thing, and what?
You don't pay me, I don't do it.
Well, who gets the $50 for putting in the boards?
Less.
Who?
Yes.
Less gets $50 for putting in my board?
If you don't do it,
Marty gets $50 an hour.
plus material.
So if I have to have mine replaced, you're gonna charge me $50 or he is or whoever? I mean, I got some text here from Angela. We're gonna get into that later on. I just wanna talk about the shore stations now. And I know you've got one and you got a good fix up and I'm happy for you now. I just know it's an income fix on me to buy it and then to have it taken out, have it stored and have it put in. I would rather do my augers, and I said before you had any rules that if I messed up that pier, I don't have a problem paying for it. And I did on these floorboards, and we'll get into that later on too.
What does it cost to take one out and have it?
Depends on who
have it
does
put
it.
in?
I know what Portside charges, and that's the only person I can tell you about, and I believe he's $400.
No, it's
Les-
500, he's charging my neighbor.
Les is around
Just take my
250.
next day In and out.
Les
and
Jensen?
everything, so it's fine.
A lot of people take their own out.
Yeah, okay.
A good portion of them do.
There's a couple of vendors, there's Les, there's Larry's,
And there's Steve.
and there's Portside,
Those are the three that I know.
that I know of, yeah.
Yeah.
And they're fairly comparable in price, and I'm not against requiring this, I'm just against, I think it's a new fee, and I can't approve a new
This
fee.
is my feeling on this. If you guys say no tonight, this will never be brought up again, because if you don't agree with it tonight, you'll never agree.
Yeah,
with it.
this is the
No, I
second
would-
year.
If you didn't pass it,
You're not getting new pier pieces.
you know, we're not getting peers, and if you're not gonna pass it tonight, it'll be off the board as long as I'm here, because it'll never pass unless the whole board changes and decides. And that's just the way I look at it. It's either a yes or a no, and that's it. We can't keep arguing over this every year.
Well, I agree with that.
You know, we got people putting augers in and they don't hold. And then the storms, and you know, it's great that you get piers fixed by Les. But you also have a liability factor, because if somebody walks on that pier before Les fixes it and gets hurt, it's a liability. You can say all you want about Les gotta fix
But then
it.
there's always gonna be a liability.
Yeah, I know, and
That's
you
never
can
gonna
say
go
something,
away.
because you know what, you can't get anybody out here instantaneous to do anything. In Stark County, I'm sorry, nobody has, what am I trying to say, a speed factor, you know, everybody wants somebody at the same time. So they have, it's just like putting these piers in. We wait forever for Steve because he's so busy every place else. There's a shortage of people doing this work,
Yeah, I agree with that.
you know, and that's the problem we have. And it's fine, people put the augers in, but then they don't hold, and they're back doing them 3, 4, 5
The
times.
ropes break.
Or they don't, you call them up, they don't return your calls. And you don't hear from them.
Well, how much damage do we suffer?
This
This
year.
year, this season. I think there were 4 boats that actually.
That's
3 or
some,
4?
for some.
Well, no, the 4 that actually got hurt.
Damage.
3 or 4 that caused damage to the pier, and as far as I know, except for that it has less.
It's done, yeah, I've got pictures.
So everything's been repaired.
Everything has been repaired.
So it's not costing us anything.
No.
Well, it's a very big thing of damage, it's making it better for the.
No, because if we're paying less to do it, whoever the owner of that spot should be trying to do it.
This is a misunderstanding. The way the lease reads is if the customer does not fix it themselves, then we will
Hire someone.
hire someone, which would probably be less, to fix it at $50 an hour plus material. We've had several damaged docks, and so far this year, everyone's repaired theirs, except for Les, who repaired it for another guy.
Okay. So,
But the point we need to make is that, these shore stations are needed to secure these boats. Okay?
And to tell you the truth, this is a very odd year. Sure, even the boats,
I don't
shore
think it's gonna get any
stations.
better. I don't think it's gonna get any better.
I'm just saying as far as the water level, even people who had shore stations had their boats come off of shore stations because of the water level this year.
Right.
We were asking them,
There's
there's
a
shore
short
stations.
stations, but it's not all short stations, only certain ones.
No, I'm not saying all, I'm just saying, this is the first year I've ever experienced where boats were coming off shore stations because of.
We've had it all the time.
Yeah.
It's happened on the piers.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
I know you haven't seen it, but I'm there all the time,
Right.
and
It's the first year I've ever seen the water level cause.
And
Just with the wind, it's gonna blow them off.
Well, in any case, but the same, people at shore stations had trouble with you.
I'm just requesting that the board would make a motion to approve that we require shore stations in 2025.
I'll make the motion that we approve shore stations for everybody on our property.
is there a second? Dies for lack of a second.
Thank you.
The next thing is approve a rate increase for the pier leases.
Yes, well, that's what I'm saying, I'm against that for the same reason I was against, I actually think the shore station thing's a good idea, but I I can't approve a rate increase.
That was my damage to
Yeah,
the
yeah.
store.
I can't approve a rate increase if the council.
And I was like,
You don't know if the council's gonna continue to do this.
Well-
You can't just keep saying, well, you didn't give me something, so I'm gonna screw, the hell with it, I'll just throw it up in the air.
Oh,
You have to go forward.
Yeah, I know.
We have to protect us. If we need increases, we need increases. We don't get to say, because he didn't give me money back, that's too bad. We still have to be competitive.
Yeah, all I know is I was the only one from this board that attended that budget hearing, and I got beat up pretty bad,
Alright,
Can we,
so.
okay,
I'm not gonna argue.
we're talking about.
I'm talking,
Before we do that, there's reasons for a rate increase too. Insurance is going up.
Well, I want to talk about the rate increase,
Okay,
okay?
well, I mean, that's the reason for the rate.
I pretty much spelled it out here. We're proposing a $75 slip increase. $25 for the jet skis who now pay $200 to put their jet ski in the water at the shore.
Mhm.
Okay, that's not a whole lot of increase. It's like $5 and something a week. I mean, I'm sure Starbucks is more expensive than that. So it's not like we're asking for a whole lot, but we are asking for $7,600 additional revenue, which will offset some of our expenses. As you can see, we're spending $10,340 to have Steve put those piers in and out this year.
That's this year.
That's this year.
Mhm.
It's almost tripled from what it was the first year I was here, because I went back and looked through that.
Yeah, well, we got a lot more peers too.
Well, we're gonna actually do, I think, a better job because we have about 5 companies now to bid this out for next season.
Okay,
Our insurance right now is $2,250 just for the boats, for the mooring out there. Amy called and said $160 more a year, we can get complete, what do you call it? Adjust, yeah.
No, not liability,
Not-
replacement.
Replacement,
Oh,
complete
replacement.
replacement on the piers if we have a
Right.
huge tornado or something, where right now we just have liability on it.
right.
So we're gonna do that. We've spent $9,300 for Gary's wages to be out there working on the piers. Putting new boards down, which how many hundreds of boards he's replaced, which is ongoing because
Sure.
they're old. And then another 1,025 for boards and screws.
Mhm.
So far, we've already spent 23,000.
Yeah, okay. My question is, what I want to know is, if we raise it $75 a pier or a slip,
Yes,
are we competitive with
No.
other people?
Portside gets 2,000. I called Culver Marina, they get 2,000 or 2,200 contingent on you buy a boat
Culver's
from,
Culver's a different world.
well, I'm just saying, the town of Culver, 1,400.
Yes, sir.
I could share some information with you about, we were in a slip from the city of Cove. We have been for 6, 7, 8 years now.
Uh-huh,
It's $1,300 a year and it's going up next year, $100.
yeah. Okay,
And they require everybody to have shore stations.
So, I mean,
And
we're
the
so,
other thing is they got 100 people on the waiting list for slips.
Of course, I don't disagree.
yeah, I agree, but that's a different lake in a different place.
Pine Lake was the cheapest.
Uh-huh.
It was, I think, around
16.
nine,
Pine Lake was
916. And they did require a shore lift, I believe.
A shore station, yeah.
Or shore station. So that was the closest
and I mean,
to
this
us.
is at 700 and we want to go to 775 and we're looking at $2,000 or 1,500.
Mhm.
Are we competitive?
I got a question.
I think you're asking way too little.
I agree.
If we go to the council and ask them for money. Aren't they gonna say, well, if you charge more for your peers, maybe we give you more money? But if you want more money from us, why don't you charge more? I mean, I'm just.
Well, I'm not worried about it. I don't want to get in a fight between us and the council, okay? That's a whole different ballgame. What I want to do is there a motion to approve the rate increase for pier leases?
I'll make a motion, we improve and increase the rates for our pier leases.
By the 75?
No, I would, say that it should go up to $1,000.
That's a bit of a jump there,
That's a big
Sam.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Well, first of all, can we decide whether or not we're gonna vote yes for a rate increase and then decide what increase we do?
No, it's gotta be the motion.
Well, I need a motion,
With an amount.
yeah, probably need an amount. Somebody will give me, I think 1,000 is way too much, but that's just me.
How long is their waiting list?
Right now, I think we have 12 on it for next year. But it's early.
I would be okay with, increasing it $100.
I'll make the motion for 800.
I got a question. You know, you put the piers up for bid for 10,000.
You know, we got a motion here.
Okay,
Is there a second?
What was?
I'll make a motion for 800.
To increase the 800. From 7. Is it with 7 now?
Yes.
So that's a $100 increase. Is there a second? Anybody?
So we're not gonna raise it.
I'll make it. I just don't think that's enough.
Can I ask, what about the jet ski in the water feed? That's, we were talking about 25 on that.
Well, we can't get a second on that because he wants more.
Yeah.
Give us
Next
up.
year, Sam.
What do you want, Sam?
I would split the difference with you.
850?
9.
Must be an auction.
Well, so you're saying that first motion died for.
We had nobody second it. I'd make a motion, we do 850. Anybody want to second that?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
Okay. All right.
So where are we?
What did you vote on?
I didn't hear you, Sam.
Did you vote on that one? On the 850?
I didn't.
He didn't vote.
Yeah,
Please
so he
vote.
needs to vote, yeah. So there's 2 ayes and 1 no. So it's up to Sam.
Same. Yes or no?
We can go far with that, Sam.
What's that?
Do it. We need that.
It's 850 or nothing.
All right, I'll go for the 850.
There you go. It's okay. Who seconded that?
Going
Who
to,
seconded?
Okay.
yeah, I just got a question. You know, Angelina talked about insurance on the boats and all that. What kind of insurance are we getting? If that wind comes up and my boat gets damaged, are you guys paying for it?
No, that's your insurance to do that.
Okay, well then,
We're insuring our peers.
We're just insuring.
you're insuring your peers.
Correct.
Right.
You're charging me $50 an hour to replace my lumber. So what am I getting out of your insurance and repairs?
We didn't
I don't
charge you
understand.
$50. You fixed it yourself. You did not get charged.
No, but if I didn't,
Right,
you gave me a deadline date.
I did, because we've been waiting for a month.
Right.
This is the problem with
And
the
that
existing,
deadline date was 8/16.
and you got it fixed, and I appreciate it.
And why was I the only one that had to comply by that? I
You-
went out there and I took pictures today and you just told me he fixed his
You did.
an hour after I did.
You did,
8/16 is a month ago.
but you were on a
Is he
different,
special?
yeah, he's a subcontractor. He's not a rent.
That's
he's
what I
not
heard.
our customer. I told you that in front of Tom.
Well, yeah, I know.
There's 2 other piers that been damaged that haven't been fixed either.
Now,
So
I
either way,
disagree with
Gary's
you.
done a hell of a job on them boards, and the ones that were damaged by the boats ain't been fixed, and you gave me an ultimatum by a date. I fixed mine.
I know, and I appreciate that. That's what you should do.
Right.
Here's the problem with.
My view is each slip holder should be held responsible regardless of who they have repair it. So if they are late, then they should be charged that extra amount of money.
Well,
That's my.
we need to set a timeline. This is the problem with our existing lease is we didn't put a time that they had.
No,
I'm saying in the lease.
I know, but we gave timelines on the email for the folks who we said damaged piers. We gave them each a timeline to finish it.
What I'm saying though is our lease needs, we need some more teeth in the lease to say, okay, when we contact you, you've got 24 hours to let us know when you're going to have
There's
that
something.
repaired. We have 72 hours. We're gonna call somebody to fix it.
Well, there was no timeline in the lease when you had to do it. We just told you you had to do it.
Let me ask you a question about that.
Timeline right here, text.
Did you listen to what I just said? I said,
No timeline in the lease.
We're talking about lease.
Let's keep it civil.
I'm just talking about the lease now. Yours is something besides.
I agree with you.
When somebody's repairing these, where do they get the lumber? Where do you get the lumber to fix?
I got it where they sent me to, when I got it from Menards, I could tell you what it paid, I could tell you the price and the boards and the
He
number
fixed
I got
himself.
and the amount.
He fixed it.
I said exactly what I was told to do.
Okay,
Nobody else had to, but I.
well, that's my question is. Anybody that's gonna repair something. How do you get the same repair job on every one?
Because we.
Because I asked her what they
the
get,
size of the
and she
boards,
told me
and
they
the
got
about
it
heat treated,
exactly.
and what screws to get, we inform them of that, so everything's uniform.
What you,
Right here.
Okay,
all right.
There's only two pier sizes of boards. They're all 1x4s and they're either, except for the south pier,
Right.
they're either 2 foot or 4 foot.
okay.
Middle pier, north pier, that's what they are.
Right, so you got
South-
piers are the main piers.
Yeah, that's 2 foot, 4 foot, so.
Well, I was concerned that we don't get three different kinds of wood out there and everybody brings their own.
Yeah, we just tell them that it has to be a 1x4 treated lumber.
Very good.
With 2-inch deck screws.
All right, I want to move on to
So do I.
Kramer Beach.
Okay, I'm up. So Kramer's Beach got some new sand. We got the mason sand that Sam was talking about, which is a fine sand, more for beaches. It's cleaned, it's tested. So they got 3 dumps there. And Kathy made sure it's all very beautiful. It does look nice. Thank you. It really does look very nice out
Are the
there.
Kramer Beach people happy?
Yeah.
Very much. We've had a lot of people come out there and just you
Make
and
comments
have
about.
over 200 comment on,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I have one
That's
comment.
awesome.
I went out there after the sand was spread. Did anybody ever go out with shovels and brooms and get the rest of it off that road?
I did a couple days ago.
Okay.
Thank you guys for taking care of it.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the sand. We love it.
Yay, that is good. And just one more thing on Kramer's Beach. I am forming a committee, since all the right people are here, to celebrate the 100th year of Kramer's Beach coming up in 2031. So that would be 100 years. So I think that it's never too early to start planning a big birthday party. So I know Kathy said she'd be on it with me, Angelina said she'd be on it with me, and I'm sure.
I just want to warn you. I saw on, my wife showed me on, online, this woman had her 80th birthday and she had 80 candles on the cake.
Yeah.
And it caught fire and it melted the cake.
Yeah, well,
So 100 candles, be careful.
yeah. We'll just do it out there, so no fireworks. Yeah.
All right, superintendent's report.
Okay, so first of all, I want to thank Angelina, a very big thank you for training me. She's been very patient. She has a lot of knowledge that she shared with me. She's valuable to the purpose of
Quick
it.
study, that helps.
Well, I'm still learning. So to Bass Lake, a wrap up on beach season since I've been here, so August through Labor Day. We brought in, these are approximately about $2,300 just for weekend camping. We brought in $4,400 on gate. We brought in almost $1,600 on gate just on Labor Day weekend. It was our second biggest weekend of the summer, very close. And then about $500 just for renting kayaks and pavilions, which I see big value in doing that. Gives some, the patrons something to do while they're there, the campers, they look forward to it. We talked about last time getting some drone photos, so Tony Mildice went and took a lot of drone photos of the beach and the campground, and he gave it to us as a gift. So that was very generous, a very generous gift. I haven't emailed them to you yet because I could only get them to download on my personal computer and I can't get them to download on my work computer, but I'm working on it. I will get them to you all so to see. They're really very cool. And I know that will, the community would probably like to see some of them too. So a big thank you to Tony Mildice for that. Did you, and David didn't see this yet, and I'll get this to you, but were you able to look at the photos from Krista Hurley about the color schemes for the beach renovation?
Yeah, I did look at it, but I'm cutting myself. But if I remember right, in looking at the pictures, I kind of think I like that middle one, but with a white trim instead of,
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
There wasn't any other ones pictured, but it was that color, but with the white trim instead of that.
well, I think that's totally doable because it just said it was, I mean, they can get cheaper.
Thinking that one was the middle and the blue one.
I think think so. Was that the dark blue?
I kind of like the middle one, but I thought it should.
Mike, okay. Well, I liked one of the blue. Yes, okay.
I think it's the right choice.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm meeting with Krista.
We got a hand.
Yeah,
I'll be able to see.
well, Angelina kind of thought that would be a good idea. I said, I would like to ask Krista first, but I think that's a great
That would
idea.
be like a contest.
Yeah.
But I want to take it out of the hands of the engineers and
Children and teenagers.
Yeah. I'm meeting with her on Thursday, so we'll definitely ask about that. And so I am having my first meeting with her on Thursday. I know Tom found out that we had to have McGrath out to fix the water heater. So there was a big issue where it was too hot and they couldn't get it to turn down. It's an extremely old water heater. But you have to have showers or you shut the whole campground down. So we did get McGrath out and that's why, and Sam, I just called Sam because he's the campground
Yeah,
guy
and it was brought up at the commissioners meeting and I just didn't know what the fee was for, but
Yeah.
I think we know after the meeting, he said he was fine with it.
Okay, should I be emailing you guys on things that are more than like $500 or?
I guess,
I thought we did something.
2,000.
Yeah,
we're fine.
this was under that.
But the only thing is depending on the time what time it is in the month when the bills go to I think sometimes they get to the commissioners before they even get to us. So I think that was kind of the oddity of that one, where because they approve all claims, even the ones from us.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes claims from us get to them before they get to us.
Yeah, because they meet twice a month and you guys.
Yeah,
meet
yeah,
once.
so that was an oddity that I didn't realize.
But you would turn in the claims, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's all taking.
I found out what it was and Darren was fine with it. It's just I didn't know what at the meeting.
Yeah, that's
That's not, there was a
Okay,
timing thing.
if
that I
something
didn't know.
big comes up, I'll just let
Yeah,
you
if
guys know.
it's a big deal.
Okay.
Otherwise.
Okay. We did have one inadvertent load of sand that was intended for Kramer's Beach show up to Bass Lake. So my husband donated his time and equipment. And he spread it out and it actually looks really nice. So the one load didn't go, it only did about half that first beach, but it is nice. And so I am hoping there'll be money in the budget, either this, fall, later in the fall, see where we're at, or in the spring to do Bass Lake too. Cause it needs to be done. He needs to get out there and scrape the rest of it, get the weeds out, put some nice sand down there for Bass Lake. That's what I'd like to see happen. For the forest, the Stark County Forest, I'm on a committee meeting for what Bruce was talking about, that National Environment Day. It's actually gonna be really awesome. So I've been meeting with that and he's giving me a VIP tour of the forest tomorrow. He said it's gonna take like 2 hours. So I'm gonna bring my bug spray. But that's such a gem. And I really am looking forward to promoting it more for him. We're talking field trips and some things, and then just lastly, the truck did have to be repaired last week. They had to put in a whole new gas tank. They replaced the brakes, they replaced a headlight. So you're gonna see that clean come through, but it's running great.
It's out in a lot, right?
Mhm.
I do have a question about the forest, because I was out there today, with my son, and he's an avid fisherman. But for some reason, we don't allow fishing out there. Do we know why that is? Or can we ask Bruce? Ask Bruce. I mean, it's not a big deal, but there isn't much area to fish, but
Mhm.
it may be that there people left trash in the past or something
It
like
could
that.
be, or he
But
might.
that is one of the things that we don't.
Ecosystem.
Sure why.
Okay, I'll find out for you.
Is there fish in it?
We didn't, no. Well, I don't know if there is, but there's why he doesn't know. There's a lot of turtles and beavers, but. And there were some heron out there too, or whatever.
Yeah, there are a lot of,
I love that.
Interesting.
I live right down the road, so I go
Mhm.
there often.
okay, so that's it for my report.
Okay. Financial report.
Oh gosh, financial report.
You didn't do it.
Rookie error. I didn't do a financial report.
Okay.
Well, then we can just not, we can take that right off.
Okay, I will have one ready for next meeting. I will email you guys tomorrow. I'm so sorry.
That's no problem. Okay, paying of claims and routine bills. I don't know.
That's off the ledger, right?
Yeah,
I looked at it online,
yeah.
it looked all right to me, but.
Okay. Do we need a motion on that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, give me a motion.
I would make a motion that, the ledger, that was presented to this board, be approved. Or.
Payment
Pass.
claims.
Month, yeah.
Okay, any,
I'll
second, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I got one thing. Kathy, before she resigned, informed us that we had a permit to do the rocks out at the beach. But we didn't get it done. And she asked me to write a letter and see if they would extend the permit. They will not do that. They don't have the authority to do that. So I sent them a letter asking for a new permit, which is what they suggested. And I haven't heard back yet, but I'm hoping that they will approve that. And I hope they do it soon enough that we can get it done before bad weather comes.
Mhm.
Right, so, and that's right at the beach, and it's around the trees that are right up on the beach to help protect the trees, that's what that's for.
Yeah.
Do they,
It was done a couple of years ago, but COVID kind of.
do they supply the rocks? Or?
My suggestion was, because what happened was when those rocks were delivered and they sat there forever, one of the campers, the year I started, he'd done it prior to me coming on board, offered to just go ahead and put it in the lake. So they're huge rocks.
Are they in the lake?
Yeah, my suggestion is, why can't we just pull them back out and put them where they belong?
Still need a permit though.
Well, yeah, I'm sure we would, but I'm just saying. if
They're
those
they're
happen-
holding, they're doing good, just being aware of that.
That's right.
Okay,
They're holding the bank now.
there's a lot of them.
Okay. All right. Yes,
Other business?
sure, other business.
Sam. You did a heck of a job when you got in here. Somehow you got the DNR to go after that diving board.
Yeah,
And maybe for next year, you could get them to mark them, so Gary doesn't have to go out there and do that and pull a boat. They should be marking that every year, and if they do, tell them, don't use a clothesline, use a chain, because I got the picture when they did that. But I know you.
Yeah, I saw that.
After 9 or 10 years, and maybe we could get that marked kind of permanently next year, one thing.
Yeah.
You know, we have the buoy in the beach house. Their buoy for marking it, so we just have to find it.
Yeah, we just dragged the buoy, have to over.
And we have to find out-
You know, where it's at.
I guess once they find it, that will be it, because
it's not too far below the water, is it?
I don't have the slightest idea.
We could
I thought
find
it was,
it.
I mean, I thought. both would get it.
It's been up this year all year, so it's pretty good.
I went out with a kayak and I went in the general area where they said it was between those two trees and I took the kayak paddle. And I was out there for over an hour, all in that area.
When he did it last night, he found it, he believes on the fish finder, the upgate, but then he drags a trolling hook to make sure he finds it. That's how he found it last night. He's got a big hook
Yes.
that he just drags until he hooks onto it. But who's responsible for taking it in and out? That's my
Oh,
question.
there's Russ.
Tracy may have a file on that because there's a fellow at Bass Lake, the scuba diving out there. And probably 2 years ago now, he went down there and measured the whole thing, and he gave a report of that, so I don't know if it's in the files.
Well, and there was, when they tried to pull it out with equipment that wasn't really
And measured.
the right equipment for it, they had divers out there. So DNR did have.
They didn't have any idea what it was gonna take
No,
to
they
get
go
it out
to
of
the
there.
tables.
So you can-
They're- On the lakes, there's barrels on the lakes full of concrete,
Oh, concrete?
yes. And you know, with just pulling that barrel out would be a heck of a job, let alone attached to all those steel legs.
They broke
And some of them's they're buried in the sand.
They're mucked in,
Yeah, I think you better have to have a crane.
We got
That's about it.
But if we can find it and mark it,
Yeah,
They should be able to do that with their GPS. You would think that they would be able to.
well, you would
have
think he
that
would
down
have
on
done it. But maybe he did. Maybe we just need to get them back.
They used to do that for the rocks. In there every day. They
Who
come
marked
back and do that. They have it on.
DNR?
Yeah,
Yes.
wasn't
the
it
cheap rope.
your neighbor that or something? What's it?
Well, no, I know that he had contact, he helped arrange the dive team, I think, to come out there and.
Well, the day I was there,
But I think I think he was going to do, but I think somebody had already done it. Maybe it was
Well,
Dan.
I was out on the lake and he came up to me and told me that he had marked it, and I asked him how he found it. And he says, I used my fish finder to where I thought it was, and then I threw a grappling hook over the side and I dragged that till I hook it. And he put a marker in. But they put it in like he said with clothesline, you know?
Yeah, I got a picture when it came up the shore, 2 days later, it was like, it broke.
Now we gotta get somebody to drag it in again. The one that's out there.
That being said, has anybody heard anything? You know, I'm still on that committee, I guess, but from Trayer about the government was supposed to give the answer September 1st on the grant. that we're working on
We'll
for
find
2
out more
years.
Thursday.
Pardon?
We'll find out more Thursday when we
Thursday,
meet Dryer.
I'll let you know.
And the only other thing I want to say in closing is we're on our 4th superintendent. She's doing a hell of a job from what I see, you know, so it's some shoes to fill. But I see a lot of positives out there every single day in that. And that's good for me, good for the beach, good for the piers, good for the property. And like I said, I couldn't even count the number of boards. I wouldn't even want to try that he put in that. So things are getting done and it's just.
And the lawn has been done by these ladies in the back, and I just want to give them a big celebratory.
Grass, everything, and the help, so
Well,
keep it up.
I think we have a really good superintendent now, and I'm looking forward to moving forward with her, and we appreciate everybody's help in doing the beach and Kramer Beach, and God knows we need all the help we get. And Gary's done a great job, and we thank him for that. Angelina does a great job. We thank her. And if there's nothing else, I'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll make a motion. We
Thank
adjourn.
Second.
Oh, all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
How do we? How do I say this? How do we- Well, how do we get to the commissioners?